Hey guys, it's Jones with Pool Warehouse, and today we're going to talk to you about an equipment pad. Now the pad we have set up here is pretty over the top, but it's a good place to start if you're trying to add deck jets and spillover spas and just all the other accessories you could put on a pool. Now this is the way we've chosen to plumb it. There are lots of different ways you could plumb your pool, but we found this to be a very good setup. So use this as tips for plumbing your pool, or you can copy this exact setup. For starters, let's talk about power. We do have 125 amps, and I know that's a lot for this pool, but it has a 110,000 BTU heater, and that heater pulls 55 amps all by itself, so we've got enough power to get everything going. The second item we have here is our salt system. That's the Hayward Aquarite salt system, and whether you're using a Hayward, a Pentair, or an XL, they have a very similar system. Next, we've got a Star Clear cartridge filter and a 1.5 horse Hayward super pump. Both of these items are going to work to power just that spillover spa if that's what we want to do, and we'll kind of explain how that works in a minute. Next, we've got a TriStar variable speed pump, and we've got a Swim Clear. This is a bigger version. This is a Star Clear. This is a Swim Clear cartridge filter. So that is definitely well suited for this pool. And then the 110,000 Hayward heat pump. So a lot of stuff going on. We'll kind of dive in and show you what each item does. Okay, to start off, we're going to dive into what we're using to power just the spillover spa. If we wanted to run it independently of the pool, this is a great way to do that. So you've got a C900, and this is a Star Clear cartridge filter. Pretty small, that's all you need for just the spillover spa. And we've got a 1.5 horse Hayward super pump. These units will power just the spillover spa. So you literally just flip the whole system on, and you've got a send line and a return line. So we're sucking water from the spillover spa, sending it through the filter, back to the spillover, and it's going to power all those jets and send clean water back to the spillover. That's if we want to run it all by itself. Now we're going to talk about just the suction lines and the send lines for the pool. If you want to run this pool independently from the spillover spa, you can do that. We have a TriStar pump here. It's a variable speed set up to suck water. So what you have here is two suction lines. You've got a suction line that's from the spa, and you've got a suction line that runs to your main drains and that runs to your skimmers. All that being said, we have a three-way valve here. The valve is set to closed. That means we are not sucking water from the spa to the pump. We're only sucking water from the pool to the pump. Now that water is going to go through the pump, travel to our cartridge filter, go through the filter into our heat pump, go back through, and we've got another three-way valve. This three-way valve is set to closed to the spa. That means it's not going to send water back to the spa. It's only going to send water back to the pool. Now when you get down here, you've got returns. So we do have the white are our returns. That's going to send water to the returns, and the red are deck jets. So if those were on, we would be sending water to the deck jets. We'll show you what all that looks like on in a minute, but just so you understand how the manifold is built up, we're sending water to returns and to deck jets, and we valved all those separately. You've got a three-way here at the top if you want to close off the spa and just send water to the pool. This setup would work to just power the pool independently of the spillover spa. Okay, next we've got the TriStar variable speed pump by Hayward, and this is rated up to 2.7 horsepower. It's an RPM based pump, but the rating comes out to about 2.7 horsepower. Now this does have digital controls built onto it, and I love that it has 4 different speeds, and you can tweak the RPMs on each one of those speeds, so you've got complete control. It also has built-in timers, so that way you can set it to turn off and on when you want. Another great feature is this ties into Hayward's automation system called the OmniLogic. So the OmniLogic will let you control your pump, your heater, your lights. You can even get an automatic actuator valve to turn your deck jets on and off. So that system is great if you pair it with this pump. If you don't want all that control, you can always get the XL variable speed pump, which is basically the same pump, but it doesn't connect with the OmniLogic system. So there's different price points there, but this is a Hayward TriStar, and that's what we have on this particular pad. Next, we've got the Swim Clear C3030 cartridge filter. Now this pool has 325 square feet of media on the inside, so it's really good to clean smaller pools. You definitely don't want to use this on a larger pool, but good for smaller pools. And it's got multiple cartridges on the inside, where your Star Clear just has one cartridge. The Swim Clear has more than one. I believe it's 3 or 4 different cartridges on the inside, so definitely better for bigger pools, but the 3030 is good for those smaller pools, probably up to like a 1428. Anything over that, you may want to go ahead and go up to the 4030, the 5030, and the 7030. Okay, next we've got the Hayward 110,000 BTU electric heat pump. Now, something important that we want to note, and some people forget, is that you need a 55 amp breaker to power this. It's important that you have enough power. It's hard to go back and add that later, but definitely if you have a 55 amp breaker, you should be good to go. This also is equipped with digital controls. You've got 2 different settings. You have a pool setting or you have a spa setting. Once we turn this on, we'll show you how that works, but you definitely have the ability to have just a pool setting or just a spa setting. Great setup for those that don't have natural gas or propane, or if you're running a spillover spa in addition to your pool. All right, next up we have the Hayward Aquarite salt system. Now this is a great salt system. The XL and the Hayward look very similar and they operate very similar, but a couple things to point out is that you do have some great lights that tell you when things need to be checked, if you need to add salt, if you have high salt, if you need to inspect yourself, if it's actually generating chlorine. So it's a great system, and we'll show you how that ties into the flow switch and to the T-cell. All right, next we have the flow switch. The flow switch communicates with your Hayward salt system, and that lets it know water is passing through the pipes and it's time to convert salt into chlorine. Now the salt is converted into chlorine in your T-cell. The T-cell is the only consumable item in this system. It has to be replaced every couple years. Obviously, if you run your pool 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you'll have to replace it sooner. But that T-cell is where the electrolysis happens. It's taking Na and Cl, those are the 2 molecules that make up salt, and it's breaking that down just to pure Cl, and that's pure chlorine, and sending that to your pool. Another great feature we've tied into this equipment pad is the switch for the lights. Now, most lights use just a standard switch, but this has a knob that you can dial in. You can put this in your pool house if you have a covered area, or you can even use an outside box if you want to just go ahead and put this outside. This is a great switch for controlling LED lights that Hayward makes. I love it. You simply turn whichever color you want it to be on. So you can see I'm doing blue, and I've got teal, and I've got green, all kind yellow. There's all kinds of different colors. This is actually a light show where it's going to flash between a yellow and purple and just various colors, and you've got different light shows built in. Whenever you pick a color that you'd like to settle on, simply push in on the knob, and now the lights in the pool will change to that color, and you can see that on the little screen right above, so that's great. Let's change the color. Let's go to green. We push in on green, and now the lights in the pool are green. And you can put this in your pool house or even in your home, and you don't have to actually see the pool to know what color the light is on, or you can get an outside box and have it set outside by the pool. Definitely a lot nicer than having the switch. The last item to point out on this equipment pad is a transformer. Now this is a Hayward transformer. You don't have to use it, but we do recommend it when you're running Hayward lights. All 3 of our lights are running into this transformer and ultimately run to a switch as well. We'll show you how all that works, but another thing to note is that you do need to make sure you bond your transformer, you bond your salt system, you bond everything on your equipment pad. Important to hire a licensed electrician to do all grounding and bonding on your pool. Now this is just our way of doing it. It's an extreme equipment pad. If you'd like to quote a spillover spa in with your swimming pool, or if you'd like a quote on just a standard package, visit poolwarehouse.com and we will definitely make sure you get the pool of your dreams.